Okay. All right. So today I'm going to be talking about things that we can do to get ready for our performance. In order for everybody to be able to hear this, I do need you to be quiet though, okay?
I'm so excited.
Awesome. Okay. So first, I am glad that you all came here today. I'm very excited because the recital was right around the corner. You have all done such a good job putting in lots of work and lots of practice in order to get that song ready for the recital. Hey, Ian, please sit down and be respectful. You need to sit down and be respectful. Okay? All right. So we've shown lots of commitment in our songs, and now it's turn to put our preparation into a great recital. Okay? So today is about building confidence in our recital song. Okay? That is one of the things that we're doing. Hey, he's being an issue if he continues. I need him to be taken out, Ian. Okay? All right, so we're going to focus on 4 big areas. One of those is practice, all right? So we need to know how to practice our song really well so that we can have it ready, which you've already been doing, but I have even specific things that we can do. And then your posture is really important, okay? How you present yourself, that's really important. And then a performance mindset. We'll talk about things that you think about actually determine how well you're going to be able to perform. And then even your breathing. Breathing is really important because breathing brings energy in, right? And breathing can actually change how we feel as well. So we're going to talk about each one of those things. And these are your tools for having a really successful performance at the recital. So we are going to dive into the first one here, which is practice. All right. So practicing your song. So you probably heard this term, practice makes perfect. You heard that before?
Yeah.
Okay. Something that's even better to say is practice makes permanent, okay? If you practiced incorrectly and over again, you're going to get really good at playing it wrong. Okay, we don't want that. Okay? Quality beats quantity every time, right? You want very good quality as you go through. That's why when you're here at the studio and you're practicing your song and I come over and I say, oh, let's make a little change to that. I want you to focus on that so that you get really good quality practice. Yes?
I don't have one.
Oh, yeah, you won't need one. That's for people that are playing for the recital. So you're just going to watch how we do everything. So you're fine. Yep. So one of the things that you can do is if you have a part of your song that you're having trouble with, you can slow it down. Okay? Let's say that together. Slow it down. Okay. Sometimes your brain has trouble keeping up with your fingers. Okay? Is it that right, Ashlyn? Yes. Because she plays some fast songs. All right. So we want to make sure that our brain is figuring out what we're doing. So if we're having problems on a part of our song, we want to slow it down so that we can look at those individual notes and figure it out. And then when we get it, then we bring it back up to speed and can play it at the tempo that we would normally play. Okay? So you want to understand every phrase. You also want to understand the rhythm of the song. Rhythm's important, right? If we don't have rhythm, we don't have music. That's why we always start out with our special events with our rhythm, because that's what drives our music forward like that, okay? We want to focus on those hard spots, the tricky spots that you probably want to avoid, right? Do some of us not like hard stuff? So we just kind of like, I don't want to do that. That's too hard. Maybe your mom tells you, I want you to go and clean your room, or I want you to go and clean the bathroom. You're like, I don't like scrubbing toilets. That's hard work. So you don't want to do it. You're like, I'll do it later, Mom, right? So we want to go right into the hard stuff so that we can conquer it. That's how you build your skill up. Yes, Ian?
Instead of going,
yes, you may. Okay? All right. So we want to break down the parts that we're having problems on so that we can repeat them and get them really solid. So a practice mindset to have is don't just play it until you get it right. You want to play it until you can't get it wrong, okay? You want to play it so much that you've got it and you pretty much have it memorized, right? That way your brain doesn't have to put much attention on it because you've already got it, right? It's like a record that you already have in your head. So one of the things that'll really help you is to try and record yourself at home. Maybe have your mom or dad record you as you play, and then I want you to go back through and listen to the recording and say, did I play that really well, or is there a part in that song that I can do better? Sometimes you don't hear it when you're actually playing it, but when you listen to the recording, you say, oh, I need to work on that part, right? I have one of our students that's not here today, but he records himself all the time and listens to the song and says, oh, I need to work on that part right there. And then he gets right to it and makes the corrections. And he is going to be playing a song in our recital that he has been working on for 5 months that he made, right? So he composed that song. So record it, listen to it, say what went really well, what could I improve? Maybe I don't have the rhythm the right way, so I want to work on that. And that is good feedback for yourself. And you want to get some performance reps in, all right? So you want to play in front of your family, in front of some friends maybe that you have over, and make a little mini performance for them, okay? And do a little performance so that they get to hear you. It'll put you under a little bit of pressure so that you can see if your song holds together really well, all right? And that's one of the reasons that we're doing this today, is so that we can play in front of each other and get that song ready to go. And it's a good tool to see if we need any help. All right, Heaven, please do not touch people, okay? They don't want to be touched. Don't touch her, okay? So the more you practice being watched as you play, the easier it's going to feel when you are up on stage. Hey, have her finish it outside before coming in. Thank you. All right, and then lastly, don't forget about our rehearsal. We're going to do a rehearsal at the place you're going to be playing at the church, and that's going to be the week before the recital. During your regular lesson time, you're going to have a rehearsal time, okay? We did it that way so everybody gets a rehearsal, all right? And then you're going to play at the place that you're going to be performing your recital. A lot of where our nervousness or our fear comes from is the fear of the what? Unknown, right? The I don't know what's going to happen. That's the thing in the back of your head. You ever were going to sleep at night and you're worrying about things the next day? Okay? I don't know what's going to happen if I do this or that. So that's why we do the rehearsal at the church, so that we are familiar with the place that we're going to play. All right? Now, what are some of the things that you have done practicing at home maybe that you think has worked really well for getting your recital song ready? Micah? Yeah, you try to practice at home. Yep. Kalani? You practicing? Has anyone played the recital song for someone else, like maybe their family? Raise your hand. Good. That's right. Good. That's going to be very, very good for being able to perform, right? So you're performing for a little small audience there. It's going to be a little bigger today, right? As we break up into our groups. Okay, great. Number 2 is your posture. Good posture really makes a difference in how you play. This might seem really simple, but your posture has a massive impact on how you play, how you present yourself, and how you feel about your performance. So when you have good posture, it gives you better control over what you're doing. It's going to help your technique, and it's also going to boost your performance. All right? So what does this mean? It means you stand or sit tall, okay? Stand or sit tall. Here's an example right now. Braden is doing that really well for us. He is sitting tall, right? He's not slouching forward like this, like, right? he looks like he's in control, right? Okay. He's got his shoulders back, kind of his chest out, right? He's got his spine up nice and straight. He is sitting tall, okay? He has more energy than if I was like this, right? Does that look like I'm wiped out, right? Does it look like that? You ever seen maybe your mom or your dad come home and they're like, oh, it's a long day, right? They look like they're just about to fall asleep, right? Which one looks like they have more energy, Braden or Braden does, right? No, not me. Okay. All right. So that's really important. So you want to not just look good, but you want to feel solid when you're up there performing. All right, let's try something. I want everybody to slouch. I want you to like, oh man. All right. Okay. How does that make you feel? Tired a little bit? Does it make you kind of sad? Maybe your back hurts? Right? Okay. Now, yeah, it's uncomfortable. All right. Now we're going to switch it. I want everybody to sit up nice and straight. I want a smile on your face, and I want you to say, I got this. Let's say that. I got this. All right. Did you feel better? Yeah, it makes you feel different, right? Okay. So if you internalize it, it will make you feel better. Okay. All right. So that is really important of having a good posture. Yep, maybe leaning forward just a tiny bit. Yes. Okay.
As long as your back is straight.
Mm-hmm. And you want your brain and your body to respond when you're playing. Okay. Have you ever seen a master musician, like maybe on the piano, and they are playing nice and straight? You can see they're very energetic with how they're playing. They're moving so fast on the piano. Or maybe someone playing on the violin, and they're playing so fast, and they look like they're very, very much in tune with what they're doing. Yeah, okay. So they have practiced their posture. So you can train your posture just like anything else in your performance, okay? So you can practice saying, oh, am I up straight? Do I have good energy? Do I have my shoulders back? Do I have a little bit of a smile on my face, right? Okay. By the way, when you smile, it can actually make you happy. Did you know that? Okay. Let's try it. Everybody smile. Okay. Some of these smiles look a little creepy, but okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. So that actually improves your mood. It's really cool. Some chemicals actually get released in your brain when you smile. Did you know that? Yeah. Okay. There's this, dopamine. So there's this thing about, are you smiling because you're happy, or are you happy because you're smiling? Maybe it could be a little bit of both. Yeah, you can come right in. Yep. All right. So that is really important. Let's go right into the performance mindset next. What do we have on here? Does it look like a superhero? Okay. Does he look like he's slouching? No. Does he look like he's in control? Yes. Okay. Posture makes a big difference, right? We're going to talk about the performance mindset too. All right. So if I'm like this, does it look like I'm ready to conquer, right? If I'm like this, I'm like, that doesn't look like I'm ready to do anything, right? Okay. Right. It looks like I'm ready to fail, right? Okay. All right. Your performance mindset. Now we're going to get really to the heart of things, and that is your mindset. A mindset, all that really means is what you are thinking about. What you think about most of the time is what comes out, right? So if you think about bad stuff all the time, that's probably what's going to happen in your life, right? Okay, because you're going to kind of gravitate towards that. So you want to think when you go up on stage, not, oh man, I'm going to do a bad job. What's going to happen? You're going to do a bad job, right? If you say, I'm going to do great, I'm going to do so wonderful just like I practiced, right? And you go up there with a smile on your face with good posture, what do you think's probably going to happen? Does it mean you're never going to make any mistakes? No, it doesn't mean that at all, but it means that you're going to have a much better success rate when you go and do it because you have the right mind about it. So is Is it normal to be nervous when you're doing something in front of people? Yes, yes, but it's something we can control. So sometimes we're nervous because we're a little stressed, right? You might have heard that a little bit about being stressed out a little bit, right? Okay. Stress is actually important because it helps us to grow. Do you know that if you try and plant a seed in the ground, you push it down in the ground, that seed has to push against that ground, and it's got to push its what down? It's got to push its roots down. Do you think that is hard? It's hard, but it needs that stress. If I just put a seed on the top of the ground and it didn't have to push it against anything, it would eventually just shrivel up and die. Okay? So we do need some stress so that we can get quiet. We do need some stress in order to grow in our skill. Okay? So being a little nervous is totally okay. All right? And as you do something over and over again, you'll get used to it, and then it won't even bother you at all. You won't even think about it anymore, okay? When you first started riding a bike, was it hard? Yeah. Was it wobbly? And then sometimes you fell down and maybe you needed training wheels or something like that, okay? All right. But eventually we did it over and over and over again, and then we did great, right? Okay. So now you get on a bike and it's like, that's not so bad, right? Okay. All right. Ian. Don't worry about that right now. We're doing something else. Did you have something, Micah? Yeah. What's up? Yes. Awesome. Okay. All right. So instead of saying, oh man, I'm going to do a bad job, we should do what? I'm going to do great, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to do good, right? Okay. So being nervous is not our enemy, right? Being nervous actually shows that you care about how you're going to do, right? You ever saw someone before they're going to do something, they're like, I don't care, right? Did they do really good? No. Probably not, right? If you see someone, they're about to go and take a test, they're like, I don't care about this test. They're like, oh, they're probably not going to do very well, right? So instead of saying, shh, quiet, instead of saying, I hope I don't mess up, tell yourself, I'm excited that I get to share my music with everybody today, okay? Your song is a story, and you're the storyteller, okay? Everybody here is going to play their song for the recital, and you are painting a picture in the mind of that person. You're telling a story, and you're trying to present that to them and make them feel a certain way, okay? So girls, please don't do that, all right? The audience is not there to judge you, right? They want you to do a great job, Michael. They want you to do awesome. They want you to do a wonderful job, and they're there and excited that you're up there and playing. They want to enjoy that gift that you're giving them. Okay, so visualization is really powerful. So let's close our eyes for a second, okay? And I want you to visualize yourself up on stage, okay? And picture yourself walking on the stage. You're taking a breath. You sit down maybe at the piano, or sit down on the bench with your guitar, or stand up by the stand with your violin, and you smile, okay? And then you play your song, and it's beautiful. And everybody claps, and you do a wonderful job, okay? All right? So you picture that in your head? Okay, keep that in your head. Do that every day before we get up for the recital, and you will do so much better by doing that. The visualization really works, because here's what's happening. We are telling our brain, this is what you should expect. This is what's going to happen, right? And our brain says, okay, right? All right. Is our brain lazy? Yes. What's our brain like to do? Sit on the couch, right? Yeah. That's what our brain likes to do. Sometimes we have to say, hey, brain, get up off the couch, right? So we want to tell our brain, what it's going to do so it knows what to do. Okay, so we're kind of giving it some instructions. Okay, just like the computer, if you want a computer to do something for you, you have to give it instructions first, right? The computer just doesn't do things without you touching buttons and everything. It needs some instruction. It needs some input. So that's you giving input to your brain so it knows exactly what to do. All right. So let's go into breathing next. So that's our performance mindset. We want to feel really good about what we're about to do when we're telling our brain what to do. Okay. So now we're going to go into breathing. Breathing's really important. If you didn't breathe, what would happen? You would not make it. Okay? All right. So this is a key tool, and it's one of your secret weapons against being nervous is your breathing. Okay? Have you ever been really upset about something? Right? Maybe you were crying. What happens to your breath? It goes, right? It's real short like that. Okay? All right? Maybe I thought I was going to get a piece of candy today, but I didn't. Right? Something like that. Okay. Okay. All right. So, is our breathing affecting our mood? Yes. Okay. So one of the things that will help to calm you down is something called box breathing. That's why we have a box up here. So box breathing means that we are going to take a breath like this. And we're gonna breathe in for a count of 4. Then we're gonna hold it for a count of 4, and then we're gonna let it out for a count of 4, and then we're gonna hold it for a count of 4. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna have Valerie count, and we're all gonna do that together. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do you already feel a little different? It really works. Okay, well then maybe you didn't do it right. Okay, so if you do that, let's say you do that 10 times, it completely resets your nervous system, and it takes a lot of that nervousness, or maybe all of your nervousness away, so that you feel really good about what you're doing. Okay? All right, so we just did that. Okay, so yep. Okay. All right. So real quick, I want you to give me those things that we talked about today. All right. I want some people to raise their hand, and you tell me some of the special. Go away, slide. Okay. Okay. All right. So I want you to give me some of those things that we talked about. All right. Let's see. Scarlett, what's one of the things? Or, I'm sorry. I should have done it. Noelle. Scarlett. Noelle.
Smile.
I did it again.
Always smile.
Smiling. Okay, that's one of the things we can do. Frederick?
Good posture.
Good posture. No, not slouching. We want good posture. Yes.
I'm breathing.
Breathing. Good breathing. Yep. Kalani. Yep, that posture is sitting up nice and straight. Ian?
Perfection.
All right. So working towards perfection, right? So putting a lot of effort into it. All right. Wonderful. Okay. All right. We are about to split up into our 3 groups. Miss Valerie is going to tell you where you're going. Some of you will be staying in here with me, and some of you will be going with Valerie, and some will go out there as well. Okay? Okay. Raise your hand for a picture. Hold on, I need to get count.